All right, strap in, everybody, because today we are going deep on Brian Tracy's marketing.
Oh, yeah. His stuff is a classic for a reason.
It's a total goldmine of advice.
Cheers.
Seriously, could level up your whole marketing game.
Definitely still relevant, even though it's been around for a while, you know?
For sure. And you know I'm all about good frameworks, right?
Yeah.
I'm really excited to unpack his 4 approaches to just conquering the market.
Yeah, those are great.
But first, got to lay the foundation. When you say, I mean, Tracy's got this whole argument about the real point of business. And it's not just, profit, right?
Yeah, he kind of flips the script.
He does.
Says the real goal is creating and keeping customers.
Uh-huh.
Profit. That just comes naturally when you do that, right?
It's subtle, but man, when you get it, changes everything.
Totally.
And it ties right into one of the, I think, most interesting ideas in the book, buying customers. Sounds kind of odd at first, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Like, what?
But it's a really smart way to think about the economics of customer acquisition. Like, every business, you're essentially buying your customers.
Okay, break that down for our listener, 'cause
Right.
that's worth exploring.
So imagine you've got an online store selling, I don't know, handmade mugs.
Okay.
Spend $10 on ads to get one new customer.
Right.
They buy a $20 mug. Great, $10 profit, right?
Right. Simple.
But here's the thing. What if that customer, they love it, they keep coming back?
Oh, I see where you go.
New mug every few months, tell their friends, raving reviews.
Yeah.
Suddenly, that $10 you spent at the start, that's brought in hundreds over time, just from that one customer.
That's the lifetime value, right?
Exactly. So companies that really prioritize those long-term relationships, they're the ones that win big.
Makes sense.
They get it. It's not about the quick sale. It's loyalty, repeat business. That's the gold mine.
It's like compound interest almost.
Kinda, yeah.
So if the strategy is buying those customers, then quality is our weapon.
Yeah.
Tracy's really big on a high quality product or service being the most profitable marketing strategy,
Oh, yeah, he's adamant about that.
like long term.
Long term, he defines quality as consistently delivering on what you promised those customers.
Keeping those promises.
Exceeding expectations, building that reputation for reliability, excellence.
I love how he brings in, was it John Carl's on? With the moments of truth.
Oh, yeah, great concept.
Every single interaction, website, getting their order, it's all a chance to impress.
Every touch point, make it seamless, enjoyable, reinforces why they chose you.
And, if you keep delivering, hitting those wow moments,
Mm-hmm.
they're more likely to come back, tell their friends.
Absolutely. It's like a ripple effect of good vibes.
Love it. Okay, so
Right.
I've got the customer part down, the quality weapon. Now let's get into Tracy's, those 4 approaches he lays out for conquering the market, right? First one's creating utility. Sounds kind of basic,
It does.
but easy to overlook, I think.
It is, yeah, basically you're giving people what they need,
Mm-hmm.
solves a problem, fulfills a desire. They're not buying just to buy.
Right, there's a purpose.
It's got to help them achieve something they want.
It's like you don't buy a hammer because you love hammers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You buy it to nail stuff.
Perfect analogy.
The hammer is utility for that.
He uses FedEx as an example.
Okay, yeah.
Before them, overnight shipping, not really a thing. Slow, unreliable.
Right. Had to wait.
Fred Smith, FedEx founder, saw that huge need and bam, whole new industry.
That's wild when you think about it.
It is.
So really knowing your market, what they need, those gaps, that's key.
What are people struggling with? What do they wish they had?
Right? What are they craving?
If you can fulfill that in a way no one else is, man, you're golden.
You're onto something big.
Huge.
This might be a good time to, ask our listeners, what unmet needs are they seeing
Yeah, good point.
in their markets? Any trends?
Yeah.
What opportunities are just waiting to be grabbed?
Plenty out there.
All right, moving on. Second approach. Tracy calls it pricing power. This one can be tough, can it? Finding that balance between what people will pay and what you need to charge.
Oh, it's a dance, for sure.
It is.
But Tracy's argument is pricing. It can be this powerful tool to open up new markets, get ahead of the competition.
Okay.
He uses Henry Ford, the Model T. Classic example.
Right. Before that, cars were for, the rich folks only.
Luxury, yeah.
Ford changed everything, made them affordable for everyone.
He did, focused on efficiency, streamlined production, tasked the savings on.
Radical at the time.
It was, but transformed America. Cars everywhere.
It's amazing how one shift can do that.
Powerful example. Strategic pricing can disrupt a whole industry, create new markets out of thin air.
And it's more than just setting a low price, right?
Way more.
There's got to be strategy behind it.
Understanding the different models, cost plus, value-based, competitive, creative, picking what fits your goals, your market.
It's not setting a price, it's setting a price strategy. He talks about the Japanese approach to pricing too, which is really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
They come in low to gain market share. Then as they sell more, their costs go down.
Economies of scale.
And they can lower prices even more. Tough for others to keep up.
It's a long game for sure.
It is. Requires patience.
Definitely.
Okay, on to approach number 3. Adapting to customer reality.
This is where things get kind of like psychological, wouldn't you say?
Totally. You're stepping into their shoes.
Yeah.
Needs, fears, what drives them, and you tailor everything to fit that.
It's like empathy, almost.
Yeah. Good word for it.
Tracy's got that story about Sears, how they revolutionized retail by doing exactly this.
Oh, right, with the catalog.
Back then, buying from a catalog was risky. You couldn't see the stuff beforehand.
What if it didn't fit? What if it wasn't what you expected?
Lots of risk, especially for bigger purchases.
So Sears, they tackled that fear head on.
How'd they do that?
Unconditional money-back guarantee.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would change things. Revolutionary back then, totally changed the game, removed the risk, built trust,
Customers loved it.
created a loyal following.
That's still relevant today, I think,
Ah.
even with online shopping and everything.
It is. It's bigger than just catalogs. It's about recognizing the whole reality your customers live in. Social, economic, adapting to that.
Give us an example.
Sure, like economy's bad, people watch their spending more, right?
Makes sense.
Discounts, budget-friendly options, that's smart then. Or sustainability is a big trend. Play up how eco-friendly you are.
Right, it's all about staying tuned into what your customers are going through.
Exactly. Adapt your approach.
Oh, now Tracy takes us even further. He talks about finding the key benefit and key fear of a purchase.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
What's that all about?
He says every purchase, it's driven by these two things. The benefits, why they want to buy.
Okay,
The fears, what might hold them back.
so it's like a tug-of-war in their mind.
Kinda, yeah. You, as the marketer, you gotta play up that benefit, soothe the fear.
I like.
Like, say you're selling workout equipment, benefit is get fit faster, easier than other ways.
Right.
But the fear might be it's too pricey, too hard to use.
So how do you address that?
Your message, it focuses on that speed, that efficiency, but
Yeah.
also how affordable it is, how user-friendly.
You're meeting them where they are.
Exactly, what matters to them. That's what your message has to speak to.
All right, last but not least, we've got delivering true value. This one seems obvious.
It does.
But you'd be surprised how many businesses mess this up.
Oh, so many.
What do they do wrong?
Get caught up in the bells and whistles, the flashy stuff. Forget what customers really want.
The substance.
Yeah, the heart of it.
Tracy uses IBM as an example here.
Good one.
Back in the day, they weren't just selling computers. They were selling, like, peace of mind.
They knew their customers, big companies spending tons of money on these complex systems.
Right, so much riding on it.
The computer working, that was almost secondary to knowing that if something went wrong, IBM would take care of them.
That's smart, yeah.
They went all out on service, support, they got it. Reliability mattered more than the tech itself for those customers.
Not just the product, it's the whole package. The feeling.
The experience, exceeding expectations, that makes them loyal.
Before we move on, I got to highlight something from this chapter that really hit me.
Okay, what is it?
Tracy's got these 3 questions, crucial ones, every marketer should ask themselves before launching anything.
Oh, yeah.
First one's pretty straightforward. Is there a market? Seems like a no-brainer.
It does.
But tons of businesses jump in without checking.
You'd be surprised 80% of new products, they fail.
That's a scary number.
It is. Shows you got to do your homework before investing anything.
So how do you answer that question then? How do you know if there's even a market for your thing?
Traditional way is market research, surveys, focus groups, all that data.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But Tracy's got a more hands-on way, getting a customer first.
What does that mean?
Go straight to the source, talk to potential customers, get their honest feedback.
I love that. Real-world insights.
Exactly. Not just numbers and guesses. You're hearing it from the people who matter.
Validate your ideas before you spend a ton of money.
Exactly. Get that feedback early.
Okay. Question 2. Is the market large enough? This is where the numbers come in, right?
Yeah, got to see if there are enough potential customers to make it worthwhile.
Make a profit.
Factor in your costs, your profit margin, how many units you got to sell.
It's all about the math.
It is. If the market's too small, you got to rethink things.
Maybe adjust the price, the costs, even who you're targeting.
Find a way to make the numbers work.
Makes sense. Okay, last question. Is the market concentrated enough? This one's interesting. It's not just about size.
Right. It's about reach.
Yeah. Even if millions of people could want your product, can you actually get to them?
Got to think about how spread out they are geographically, what media they consume.
How much it'll cost to reach them?
Exactly.
Tracy talks about the internet here, how it's got this huge reach,
Uh-huh.
but it's also like a double-edged sword.
You can reach millions with one click, but do they even notice you?
It's easy to get lost in the noise.
So true. So it's not enough to find a market. Got to see if you can actually reach those people effectively.
Affordably.
Right. Crucial point.
Okay, we've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive into Brian Tracy's marketing.
We have.
The real purpose of business, buying customers, quality, and those 4 approaches to conquering the market.
Great stuff.
But we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah. In part 2, we're going to get into marketing warfare, how military strategies can be used in business. It's fascinating.
Well, wait.
And then we'll unpack the marketing mix, the 7 elements Tracy calls a recipe for success.
It's going to be a wild ride. So until next time, keep those marketing minds sharp and get ready to conquer those markets.
See you then.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Last time we got into some of the fundamentals from Brian Tracy's marketing, and now get ready to put on your metaphorical armor because we're diving into marketing warfare.
I love this part. Such a powerful analogy.
It is.
Really highlights how strategic marketing has to be.
Tracy says it's like a military campaign. You got to understand the battlefield
You're opponent.
and yourself, know your strengths, all that.
Exactly.
So first up, he's big on knowing your enemy, which in marketing means your competitors, right?
It's about gathering intel. What are they good at? Where are they weak? What are they going to do next?
Anticipate their moves.
You might think, isn't this a bit aggressive? But it's metaphorical, not like we're actually going to war.
We're not being ruthless, just strategic.
Exactly. Informed, prepared, able to adapt. That's how you win.
Tracy tells this story about Suzuki, their 4-wheel drive vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
They thought they were selling to, like, young, adventurous types.
Makes sense for a 4-wheel drive.
But then they did some research.
Hmm.
Turns out their main customers were older, more affluent, using the vehicles to tow boats, trailers, that kind of thing.
Wow, so different.
Imagine if they'd run their whole campaign based on that first guess.
Total flop.
So data's crucial.
Absolutely. Don't rely on assumptions. Get the real info, analyze it, use that to make your strategy.
Data-driven decisions. Gotta love it.
It's the only way.
Okay, so know your competitors.
Yeah.
That's key. But Tracy also says know yourself,
Know your strengths, weaknesses, what makes you unique.
which leads us to competitive advantage.
Your secret weapon.
Tracy says every successful business, they've got something that sets them apart.
Makes them stand out, yeah.
Could be a feature, a lower price, amazing customer service, strong brand.
Whatever gives you that edge.
It's about finding that one thing that makes customers choose you over everyone else.
He says in most industries, 20% of the companies, they make 80% of the profit.
The 80-20 rule.
You want to be in that top 20. And to do that, you got to have that advantage, something special.
Makes sense. So how do we figure out what that is? What makes us special?
Tracy suggests this exercise. Imagine all your competitors. Gone. Poof. What happens to your business then?
Well, I guess I get all the customers.
But think deeper. What opportunities open up? What gaps can you fill now?
I see. It makes you think about what you're really bringing to the table.
What makes you indispensable? That's what you got to figure out.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit, talk about the marketing mix.
Oh, yeah, the recipe for success.
7 key ingredients. He calls them the 7 Ps.
And just like a recipe, tweak one thing, the whole result changes.
Got to get it just right.
So first P, product.
Seems obvious, but it's more than just the thing itself, right?
Way more. It's what it does for the customer, the benefits, the solution.
Not features, but outcomes.
Exactly. You got to understand what they need, what they want, and show how your product fulfills that.
Like a smartphone. It's not just about the camera or the speed.
It's about staying connected, capturing memories, making life easier.
It's about tapping into those emotional drivers, what makes people buy.
For sure.
Okay, next P. Price. This one's always tricky, I think.
It is. It's not just about setting a number. It's a whole strategy.
Aligned with your goals, your market.
Even small changes to your price can make a huge difference to your profits.
So how do you even approach that?
Analyze your costs. Figure out how much customers are willing to pay. Find that sweet spot.
Or you're making money, but not pricing yourself out.
And don't forget to review and adjust your pricing over time.
Things change, costs go up, competition heats up.
Experiment. Try different models, discounts, tiered pricing, even dynamic pricing. See what works best.
Always be adapting.
The market never stands still.
All right, on to promotion. This is where we spread the word, get people excited.
This is where the creativity comes in, crafting that message, choosing the right channels.
Ads, PR, content marketing, social media, email, so many options.
Think of it like a continuous offensive.
What does that mean?
You can't just launch one campaign and call it a day.
Got to keep going.
Keep testing, refining, adapting. What worked last year might not work now.
Keep it fresh. Keep it engaging.
The marketing landscape is constantly changing.
This is all about making it easy for customers to actually get your product or service right.
Convenience is king. Think about it. Would you rather buy online or go to a store?
Online, for sure.
So you got to think about your distribution, online and offline. Make it as seamless as possible.
Tracy uses Amazon as an example here.
Great one. They've got that whole network of warehouses. Delivery is super fast.
Some people love that.
It's been a huge part of their success.
So how can we make things easier for our customers? Website, online presence, maybe partner with retailers?
Think about how they want to buy and meet them there.
Okay, packaging. This one might seem kind of surface level.
It does, but it matters more than you think.
How so?
Humans are visual. We judge things instantly based on what we see.
First impressions are powerful.
He even quotes a study. People form an opinion about a product in 4 seconds.
Wow, that's fast.
And then they spend the next 30 seconds justifying that opinion.
So packaging matters.
Every visual matters. Product design, website, marketing materials, it's all got to be aligned. Create that positive, memorable impression.
It's like creating a whole visual identity for your brand.
Exactly.
Okay, positioning. This is where things get a bit more conceptual.
But it's arguably the most important P.
Why that?
It's the story you're telling about your brand. How you want customers to see you, how you stand out.
What words do you want them to associate with you?
Tracy quotes Theodore Levitt here. A company's most valuable asset is its reputation.
And he's right. Reputation is everything. It's the foundation of trust.
And you can't just make it up. It has to be real, reflect your values, how you treat your customers.
Actions speak louder than words.
Think about brands like Apple, Patagonia, Zappos. They've built incredible reputations.
That being consistent, delivering on their promises.
Standing for something, that's what people respect.
So figure out what makes you unique, craft that message, and then live up to it.
Every single interaction, that's how you build a reputation.
Last P, people. This one seems a bit out of place in a marketing discussion, but Tracy's point is, business is about human connection.
People buy from people.
Not faceless corporations.
He says, a customer will not buy from you until he is convinced that you are his friend and that you are acting in his best interests.
Wow, that's powerful. Got to build that trust, that rapport.
They got to feel like you genuinely care.
And that's everyone in the company. Sales, customer service, even delivery drivers.
Every touch point matters. Train your people, empower them, create that customer-centric culture.
It all comes back to people.
It always does.
Okay, so we've got the 7 Ps, product, price, promotion, place, packaging, positioning, people. That's the foundation of a solid marketing strategy.
A lot to consider.
But Tracy doesn't stop there. He also gives us 4 key principles of marketing strategy to really take things to the next level.
Oh, yeah, those are great. Kind of like guiding principles, a framework for your whole approach.
Making sure everything's aligned, working towards those goals.
So are you ready to explore those?
Okay, let's get into those 4 key principles that Tracy talks about for marketing strategy.
They're like, I don't know, the guiding stars or something for the whole marketing universe.
I like that.
First one is specialization.
Okay, what's that all about?
Basically, picking your lane, you know?
Focus.
Yeah, focus your energy, your resources on something specific where you can really win.
Could be a product, a service, a certain type of customer.
Could be a market, a technology, anything really.
Find your niche, that's what you're saying.
Exactly, where you offer something unique, valuable.
Tracy uses Walmart as an example. They've really specialized in serving a certain kind of customer.
The ones who live paycheck to paycheck, as he puts it.
They offer good products, low prices, really catering to that specific demographic.
It's smart. They understand those customers better than anyone.
So focusing on a smaller group can actually lead to bigger success.
If you do it right, become an expert in that area. Tailor everything to their needs.
Makes sense, but how do you know if you're focusing too narrowly or too broadly?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Too broad, you get lost in the crowd, no one knows what you stand for.
Yeah, you're just another company.
Too narrow, you might miss out on growth opportunities.
So you got to find that sweet spot.
A niche that's big enough to make money, but small enough that you can really own it.
Okay, that makes sense. What's next?
Differentiation. We touched on this a bit already.
Setting yourself apart from the competition.
Give people a reason to choose you.
Why should they buy from you instead of the other guy?
Tracy's got another thought-provoking question here.
Hit me.
Imagine all your competitors, poof, gone.
Okay, so I'm the only game in town.
What happens to your business?
Well, I'm guessing business is booming.
Sure, but think deeper. What opportunities are there now? What can you do that you couldn't before?
I see. It forces you to think about what you're really bringing to the table.
If your competitors disappearing wouldn't even cause a ripple,
No one would notice.
then you haven't differentiated yourself enough. You got to be indispensable. Your absence would be felt.
Okay, I'm getting at what's the next principle.
Segmentation. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of like, who's our ideal customer?
Not just age, gender, all that basic stuff.
Right, we're talking psychographics, their values, their interests, what motivates them, what scares them,
Paint a picture of that perfect customer.
and then tailor your whole approach to reach them.
But wouldn't that alienate other potential customers?
It's not about excluding people. It's about focusing your efforts on the ones who are most likely to buy, to become loyal, to stick around.
Makes your marketing more efficient.
Exactly. You're not wasting time and money on people who aren't interested.
So it's like, if you're selling luxury watches, you wouldn't target people who can barely afford a Timex.
Right. You target the ones who appreciate quality, who value exclusivity, who have the money to spend.
Speak the right language to the right people.
Exactly.
Okay, last principle, what is it?
Concentration.
Bringing it all together.
You've got your specialization, your differentiation, your segmentation.
Yeah.
You concentrate all your energy, your resources on attracting and serving those ideal customers you've identified.
Like focusing a laser beam, right?
Perfect analogy.
No more wasted effort. Everything's aligned.
Tracy says, in today's world, this is more important than ever. So much competition, so many distractions.
Easy to get pulled in a million directions.
Gotta say no to the things that don't fit. Focus on what really matters.
Work smarter, not harder. That's what they say.
If you try to be everything to everyone, you end up being nothing to no one.
But if you focus, hone your message, target the right people.
You can achieve incredible things.
Well, we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive into Brian Tracy's marketing.
We have, from the purpose of business to the marketing mix, those 4 principles.
It's a lot to take in, but so valuable, I think.
I hope our listeners are feeling inspired, ready to tackle their own marketing challenges.
Me too. Tracy's given us so much to think about, and we've only just scratched the surface.
But he reminds us marketing can be complex, but also simple.
Complex to do, but the idea is simple.
Find out what people want.
And give it to them.
Better, faster, cheaper than anyone else.
So simple, yet so powerful. And with that, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into Brian Tracy's marketing.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've enjoyed the journey, learned something new, and most importantly, that you're feeling ready to go out there and conquer those markets.